Am I the asshole? For not wanting people at our pool. My fiancé and I own a house with a pool in the backyard. His brother, Jay, had asked the day before if him and his family wife 3 kids could come over on Sunday to swim after one of the kids' sports games, which was at a park close by to us. Now, fiancé and I own a business together that requires WFH work from home on Sundays. Everyone that we know is aware of this, including his brother. I voiced my opinion that I felt it was weird for people to be at our house while we were working in the basement, but fiancé assured that it would just be chill. He said it's normal for family to use people's pools even if they weren't home. So, we let them come thinking that they would swim for maybe an hour then leave. But it wasn't just them. Fiancé's parents also came. We figured they would, but the kicker is that Jay also invited 2 of his friends plus their partners and their kids as well. We do know these people, but both fiancé and I were not aware of this beforehand. So now it's a full-on party in our backyard while we are working in the basement. I became very annoyed that they did not only invite themselves but some of their friends as well. It made me feel guilty that I couldn't be in my own backyard to host people because I was working. It also felt like they were just using the house and didn't really care about seeing us, the homeowners. Not to mention, the house was a complete mess. We had a busy Friday and Saturday and I didn't bother cleaning much before because I figured it would just be Jay's family. Everyone was here from 1:00 p.m. till 7:00 p.m. We finished work around 3:00 p.m., at which time fiancé put on his swim trunks to join them outside. I got in a pretty bitter mood from it all and stayed inside. I didn't say hello to anyone cause I figured they weren't even here to see me, just my pool. I did some laundry and some cleaning up and I did end up seeing a few people who were coming inside to use the washrooms. I said hi and tried to make some small talk, but I really wasn't happy. Fiancé came in and said that I was creating an awkward, unwelcoming atmosphere by not being outside. I told him I never planned to have a party today, so I was just carrying on doing what I originally had planned, which was laundry and cleaning. Fiancé keeps saying that I was rude for not joining them outside after work. He also says things like the pool is meant to be used and that it's family time. Am I the asshole? ETA answering those who have asked, we bought this house together completely 50-50. Not the asshole, but you and your fiancé need to have a serious conversation about this. It is guaranteed not to be a one-time thing and you clearly have very different expectations about your home life. I hope you're prepared for unexpected and unwanted guests for the rest of your life. Your fiancé clearly thinks your home is a community center, and you clearly think it is a private place. Neither approach is wrong, but they are entirely incompatible. Fiancé keeps saying that I was rude for not joining them outside after work. Not the asshole, you're not obliged to host a party you didn't want with people you didn't invite. This is a fiancé problem, not a brother problem. Not the asshole. Not the asshole. They invited themselves over to your property with no consideration of giving advance notice of the extra people. They are treating your space like theirs and that's not right. Set some clear boundaries and tell them when they can or cannot come to the pool, and establish the rule that they need to ask for permission. Give heads up before they invite anyone else. The only rude people are Jay and his wife. And your fiancé's not very helpful either. Not the asshole. I mean, who invites people to someone else's house without as much as asking? And since your partner accepted it just like that, you can see a glimpse of your future. So there may be people who are fine with this kind of thing, but you are obviously not it. So if you are not prepared mentally for this kind of crap all the time, please try some stern talking counseling about boundaries. And if your future husband still does not understand that it is also your private space, then I would re-evaluate the wedding maybe. Not the asshole, this is shitty behavior all around. You don't invite other people to a house you don't live in. Your fiancé is an AH2 for allowing this BS. Not the asshole, it is rude to invite people to someone else's house without clearing it with the owners first. Your fiancé obviously didn't think it was a big deal, but you two need to iron that out soon. because it doesn't sound like this will be a one-time occurrence. Not the asshole. Your fiancé disregarded your feelings on this from the beginning. Now you are known as the house with the free pool. You need to nip this in the bud right away, or your home and garden will be overrun all summer. Not the asshole. First off, anything that happens in your pool, you are liable for, and comes out of your homeowner's insurance. Secondly, even though it was pretty clear that only those who people were allowed, you should have made it even more clear as people showed up, that, unfortunately, the accepted invitation was for those few people. Especially these days, everybody wants to sue somebody for something, always think liability, liability, liability. You need to communicate and express your boundaries if you want to establish them, and passive aggressiveness isn't going to do you any favors on that front. Your fiancé sucks for not pushing back when the unrelated folks rolled up. And his brother sucks for inviting friends. Not the asshole. This would annoy the hell out of me too. Especially being expected to be social after work. You and your fiancé need to have a talk about family boundaries before you get married. Not the asshole. Why is it not rude for people you don't even know to be invited to your home? That's ridiculous. Not the asshole. Nope, nope, nope. I understand that feeling of being invaded, boundaries stomped, exploited, and the lack of control. It feels horrible. Years back I took a nap on a Sunday afternoon, woke up to neighbors in my kitchen prepping, announcing that they were hosting a barbecue at my house with a lot of my food that my husband had agreed to. They invited some other people. Wow, I wish I'd simply kicked them out, but I felt so much confusion since husband had apparently agreed. It was hard to even be agreeable. Never again. Not the asshole. After a long day working, you should not be obligated to entertaining a party that you didn't start. You really need to talk to your partner and set ground rules now, otherwise you will be hosting and cleaning up every weekend. Not the asshole. They took advantage of the situation. They were just using the pool as if it was their own. I would be upset too. Not the asshole. I'd be concerned about the liability issues, too. Your BIL invites his friends and their kids, but if something happens to anyone, you're essentially responsible. Not the asshole. I'd flat out refuse next time. It's especially insensitive and out of order to invite others as well, knowing you're working. Not the asshole. It's your home and not a resort or community pool. Not the asshole, and this is the worst part of owning a pool, IMO. A family member was visiting us some time ago, when we still had a pool. While we were at work, they invited friends and kids to come swim. I get home, bunch of people in the pool, acting like they own the place, my kitchen floor is wet and our bath towels are strewn everywhere. I'm an introvert and don't like unexpected guests anyway. I reacted much like OP, husband got mad. Not the asshole. Perhaps the environment would have been more welcoming if the relatives had asked about inviting more people than just the 5 family members. Inviting people to someone else's house without the homeowner's permission is never okay. I would have been very upset as well. Why should you care about ruining their pool party? Not the asshole. Your in-laws are incredibly rude. Why didn't you tell them to leave early on? I don't think you or your fiancé are the honestly. When you are married though, sometimes things pop up and you have to roll with the punches and try to be a good sport. It was rude of his brother to bring unapproved guests, but 9 times out of 10 fighting about family is very, very hard on marriages and should be avoided IMO. Not the asshole. I agree that it is unacceptable for your family to have invited their friends without asking first. I also think that your fiancé should have backed you up when they were overstaying, invited more people, but he seemed more interested in hanging with friends than backing you up. I would sit down with your husbands and voice your concerns and then set more clearer boundaries with your husband's brother. I think it should be okay for him and the family to use your pool occasionally though, as long as he isn't bringing over a whole party every time and doesn't